hello, good evening. Goodness me, it's Friday again. Fridays come around faster and faster and faster. So welcome to Hello, Let's Gab. How many now? I actually can't keep track. I think it's probably about 12 of these. Anyway, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in, as you seem to do every Friday, which is lovely. We're live here over at Hello Magazine. I'm Gaby Roslin. And this week on Hello Let's Gab, we've got the very gorgeous Tamzin Outhwaite. She's going to be chatting to us about a show that she's been doing in lockdown. Plus, I think we'll be talking about live theatre quite a lot, because also my other guest is the wonderful Kimberley Walsh. Now, she's not just a pop star. She's not just a musical theatre star. She's not just a presenter. She's got her own company. So much to talk to her about as well. Plus, as always, Melissa Hemsley will be giving us her snack attack. And I know that there's one particular snack tonight that she is doing that I cannot wait. I cannot wait to try straight afterwards. It's to do with ice. It's quite warm. It's quite warm out there. Anyway, here she is. Tamzin Outhwaite is here. Let's get her on board onto Let's Gab with Tamzin Outhwaite, the wonderful Tamzin. I adore her. I think she's the most phenomenal actress and a very lovely person too. Hello, beautiful girl.
Hi, darling.
Hello, welcome to Hello Magazine. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. I've come on sporting the show must go on.
I've been wearing mine all week. I've been telling
notice.
everyone to get it. You know what, Tamzin, let's go straight there. Welcome to the show. Let's go straight there. You and Kimberley will both feel very passionate about this. The news this week about theatres can open, but with no live shows.
Yes, but on a positive note, I know it needs to happen at the beginning. On a positive note, I think that it's going to start picking up very soon. We've seen some things recently about things starting to happen. It's not all being pushed back till next year. I think things will start picking up this year towards the end of the year. My fingers are crossed. And when it does come back, it feels to me like, because of what's happened to the theatre community, it's going to be huge. It's going to be quite emotional, I think, because the whole experience of live theatre and that shared experience, I think, is quite an emotional thing to go through anyway. And I'm just so excited about how it's going to come back. At the moment, I'm disappointed that we're not being supported enough, but we've got through an awful lot as an industry. And the show must go on. That cliche does exist because it's what happens.
Absolutely. And of course, and that's why we're all wearing our T-shirts and everyone can go and find out more about it. But the big thing about theatre is that everyone has this idea that with live theatre, with live music, with live performances as a whole, oh, well, the people who are performing and entertaining, they're all rich. It's fine. They'll be fine. You know what? It's not like that. You get your pay when you do your job. Also, all the technical staff, the wardrobe people, front of house. I mean, there's so many people.
It's a family and it's a huge industry. And there are a lot of people I know that only work in theatre. You know, they don't work in TV and other genres. They just do theatre. And the jobbing actor friends of mine that, you know, we're already in precarious situations as an actor because you never know when your next paycheck is coming from. So now to have this situation where everything's halted, I mean, it's going to take a lot of spirit and a bit more help, I think, from the government. And then I think we'll be all right.
You were... Oh, I can hear your dog.
Sorry.
Is everything all right?
Yes.
You were actually going to be in a show.
Yes.
When lockdown happened. So talk us through that.
So the Seagull, Amelia Clark, Indira Varma, Tom Rhys-Harris, Patrick Robinson. I mean, it really... all of the Jamie Lloyd Company, a host of brilliant actors, Sophie Wu, Danny Ashok, and we were at the Playhouse. And we'd done 5 previews, Gabby. So we kind of knew that we were onto something special and it was quite magical and everyone in it's so good. And working with Jamie was incredible. And then to have after 5 previews before we got to the press night for us to go dark was quite heartbreaking. But I also know we will be picking up. We've had that confirmed that it's going ahead as the same as Jessica Chastain's A Doll's House is also going ahead. So Jamie Lloyd's company is picking up where he left off. we don't have a date, but it will happen, and it will happen with Amelia Clark. So I'm really happy about that.
That must be, I mean, because I know we know each other in real life as well, out of sight of the screen. And I know how you were so excited about doing that show. I haven't seen you like that. I mean, you were really buzzing and your eyes were bursting with excitement. And that's fantastic to hear.
Well, I love theatre and I don't do it enough, you know. I'm sure everyone could say we don't do it enough, but it is the reason that you started acting. It was theatre. I didn't train in telly. I trained, you know, as a theatre performer. So it's lovely to go back there, and it sounds like a cliche and a little bit cheesy, but it does feel like you're going home. So for the next thing I do to be a theatre thing would be wonderful. I mean, there's other things in the pipeline. All sorts is happening. Dumb Breeding has got legs to have a new life somewhere else. So
what's happened with that? Let's talk about that, because of course you've been making, for people who don't know about this, they have to go and watch it. But tell everybody about Dumb Breeding.
So it's about, Julie Graham's written it. It's about 5-6 women, all not in lockdown, all going through the menopause together. Very funny and raw and honest and truthful, all about how you feel when you're going through the menopause. That's never talked about. And as a woman of a certain age, it isn't represented very much on your mainstream television. So Julie wrote this brilliant piece and got 6 actors together, and we all filmed in our own homes, and we filmed with our partners filming us, with our kids playing off parts, on parts. I mean, Robin Shepherd directed the first 8 episodes, and then Angela Griffin made her debut and directed the very last one, which is wonderful. So she had a great opportunity, and it's on YouTube. All 9 episodes are now on YouTube. They are between 10 and 15 episodes. It's called Done Breeding, Dunbreedin. And we've finished it now. And it looks like it has legs, and we've all fingers crossed that we're going to be commissioned to actually continue making a series. We never talk about lockdown while we're doing it. So
wow.
You never know. So it's cleverly done, the way she's kept people in FaceTimes, but 6 women chatting to each other about what they're going through. And, you know, it's funny. So instead of it being, you know, a tragic stigma that's attached to the menopause, making it humorous just seems to kind of lighten it somehow. I suppose, like with everything, if you laugh about something, it feels less stressful.
And I think that's what everybody needs. And I like the fact that you say there's no mention of lockdown, even though we're still, you know, I personally, the pictures of all the beaches, and I know you've been posting about that, just what is everybody doing? They think it's a conspiracy theory and it's all over.
Yeah. And I also think a lot of people think it's done. But I do think if you're in cinemas and theatres, if you all were wearing a mask, I don't understand. Whereas on the beach, no one's going to wear a mask.
And they're all sat in a
theatre, you could have, and they're really close together, and they're swimming and sweating. And so in my head, I think with precautions and wearing a mask, I would be really happy to go and sit in a theatre with another 1,000 people with your own space like this, with gloves and a mask. Yes.
Yeah. But everybody going out to the beaches and jumping on top of each other, and it's just crazy. I think people are very confused. You've in some ways you've had a very good lockdown. I know it's a strange thing to say, but you've kept busy, haven't you?
Done Breeding saved my sanity, because I was starting to head south and thinking, why, you know, because it's natural, isn't it, to feel quite low about the situation. So when Done Breeding started, when Julie first called me, I was like, this is a really good idea, but I didn't expect it to happen straight away. We started filming. A light arrived, and an iPhone arrived, and a tripod arrived, and then suddenly we're going, everyone be quiet, we're just trying to get this scene. And, you know, it was a learning process from the very first episode right till episode 9. It got better and better and better, and we got more used to it, the style of it. And now I watch it, and I'm really proud of it, really proud of all the other women, Denise Welch, Julie, and, you know, Tracy Ann Oberman, you know them all, Alison Newman. and then Nicholas Stevenson came in and played a part, Nimi March, Steve Edge. We had some really good actors. And to do that in your own home, first of all, you're like, oh, but the background's a bit messy. I better do that. Or you just tidy one area, you know, so that you could just film there. But then you started realising, actually, it's not about you having a show home. These are meant to be real people in real homes. So I then started messing it up a bit. And we just really enjoyed it. I mean, to be honest, it would be really lovely to do it and be in the same room with all the girls and be able to hug each other and actually talk to each other and touch each other, you know. So I struggled. We'd have our Zoom meeting, our Zoom rehearsal, and it's just a weird way of doing things, but it felt like quite revolutionary in the sense that it was the first thing to be filmed during lockdown.
And I think it's great. I mean, I've watched it, as you know, and I think it's wonderful. I think congratulations to all of you. But also on a home front wise, you've got your dad. So you've got your dad in the garden. That's a strange thing to say, but he's not actually, he doesn't live in the garden, but he lives in a house in the garden.
Separate dwelling. But yeah, at the end of the garden in a lovely, I don't know how you describe it, cabin, wood cabin.
It's wonderful, but so lovely for your girls to have their grandfather, so you could see him and see he was okay, because I think a lot of people found that so difficult.
Yeah, of course, but you know, we go in the garden, we still keep our distance. He has an area of the garden where he sits, but he can sit and watch them playing.
Lovely.
And you know, and I can make food for him, and I can go out and get his stuff. Really, for a man of, you know, that age, I think it's probably the best situation, the best outcome of like how lockdown could have gone for him, because if you were on your own in a bungalow where he was before, that would have been tricky, you know. It's very lonely for a lot of people, I think.
It is. I think a lot of people have really suffered with all of that, but your girls as well, your girls have been amazing because they helped you out with filming, and it's nice.
And Marnie played the young Indy, so the young me, in the very last episode that dropped on Thursday. And it's just so lovely. It's like having a bit of history, I suppose, that you'll always have, even though she didn't really want to do it. Yeah.
I've just got to tell you that Rosie Nixon, who's the editor-in-chief of Hello, good evening, Rosie.
Oh, yes.
Oh, God. She said they'd like to come and do, that's so lovely, they want to do a Hello shoot in your garden with your dad's shed and everything. There we are.
Do they?
There we are. How lovely.
That'll be Nikki Johnson taking the photos.
And you look, you're such a glamorous girl. You know, the night, and also you get very embarrassed, but I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it publicly here on Hello. I think you're a really wonderful person. I think you're a really good egg, and I think you are incredibly loyal to your friends. I know your friends, and they adore you. You're a fabulous lady, and
it's like you just make me cry every time.
No, I know, you always say that. You always say that. We just have to quickly mention, because everybody says they want to know about Eastenders, and we always laugh about the fact that I did make you cry. I'm sorry, but I do mean it. That EastEnders people are still saying, we know. Oh, she's saying yes to Nikki, and she's going to drop you a line. By the way, the boss of Hello, Rosie said it. There we are. And Kimberley Walsh, who's about to be on, says she is so lovely. Everyone loves her.
Oh, I love her. Also, while we're talking about people being brilliant, I saw her in Big, the musical, on the press night.
Wasn't she fabulous?
Wow. She's a real talent, an absolute, I mean, she's one to watch. I think she'll have a career in whatever she wants to do forever.
I know, she's wonderful, and another lovely really lovely person, just like a real lovely person. Can we just talk about EastEnders? We have to get that out of the way. I love that you and I laugh about this. People are still saying, are you going back to EastEnders?
I'll tell you when I'll go back. It'll be a long time in the future, and it'll be as Mel's twin sister, the evil twin. Because she does, Mel, I have to remind people, Mel is dead.
I love that you will go back as the evil twin sister. Considering I've never missed an episode, it will work perfectly. That's it, done. Bless you as always, my lovely. Always great to see you. And be happy and take care. I'll see you soon.
You're like a lovely tonic. Thank you.
Bye, my lovely. Take care. Oh, she's just lovely. Lovely Tamzin Outhwaite. Well, she introduced my next guest, which could be look, it's just the lovely Kimberley. Come on then, Kimberley Walsh. You are as fabulous a person as Tamzin. I've known you for such a long time. So Kimberley Walsh, come on in. Beautiful Kimberley. Come on in, my sweet. There you are, in your garden. Hello, lovely girl.
How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. And you must be very happy because of the announcement you put today on Instagram.
I know. I can't believe what brilliant timing this was. We planned this weeks ago. I've actually got something to talk about now.
Tell everybody.
So I'm very, very happy to say that the musical that I was just about to open in, Sleepless in Seattle, the musical, at the Wembley Troubadour, has now been given dates to open, which are the 25th of August.
Oh,
so a lot sooner than I think a lot of us thought it might be. And yeah, I'm just thrilled.
So how are they going to be doing it? Are they going to be doing it inside, or is it going to be one of the drive-in ones?
So at the moment, I think the Society of London Theatre and all the government guidelines of obviously working through the phases. And I think we're at phase 3 right now. Which would be an outdoor performance, but we're hoping, and the producers are very confident, that by the 25th of August we'll be in stage 4 or 5, where we will be able to have socially distanced audiences inside the theatre.
That is fantastic news. It must, same for Tamzin, because as she said, she did 5 performances, 5 previews, and then the show that she was so excited about didn't happen, but it will be happening in the future, which she's heard, which is great news.
Great,
but for you, it must, for both of you, that feeling of being that excitement, and then suddenly
it was
it's not
literally
happening.
Like the worst point it could happen. We had just done our Sitz Pro, which is the first sort of sing through with the orchestra, which always gets everybody so excited, and you know, everybody in that zone to like plow onto tech and get the show up and running. And then it literally, obviously, lockdown happened the day after. So we didn't actually do any of tech. We just saw our beautiful set in all its glory. And then we didn't really get to spend any time on it. So it was a tough time for lockdown to be called for us. But I think when we left, we all just had this feeling and hope that we would be back, and that it would feel even more special to perform again after everything that's happened. And we had no idea what was coming, and it really is going to be, I mean, it's just going to be incredible, actually.
Am I going to cry when I come to see it? Because I cry at film.
I think you will, to be honest, especially with the sort of tough few months that we've all had. And the nature of the story, it's basically about bringing a family together, mending a family, and anything where there's a child in it just absolutely breaks me. So even though I'm in it, I struggle to watch the kids, the kid with Jay, obviously, who plays Sam, because it's just so heartwarming. But it's a real feel-good show. I feel like it's just what people need. A little, a couple of hours of escapism in the theatre.
Goodness.
And we're more than happy to be the ones performing first.
Oh, we all do need it. And my heart breaks, as we were just saying with Tamzin, and I've been very vocal about it, but it's the performers and the stage crew and the technical people and the front of house, and it's just tough for everybody.
It's so tough. And I think we're in a very privileged position in a way that we're at the Wembley Troubadour, which is a huge, very well ventilated space. It wasn't a traditional theatre, it was a TV studio, so seats can actually be removed to enable, a metre plus social distancing. They can do temperature checks on arrival and all of that. We've got a huge outside area, loads of toilets, and I think that is the real problem with the West End theatres, and why obviously it's very hard to get these shows back up and running, because they're such hard venues to work social distancing into. But hopefully we can pave the way and show that it can work, and everyone can be safe and enjoy going to the theatre again.
So the tickets out there for sale?
Yeah, they're on sale as of today, yeah. Some people obviously had already booked and just pushed them back. But yeah, they're on sale now, and we're doing a special gala performance on the 27th for NHS staff, so they can apply for a free ticket online on the website. And I just actually don't know how I'm going to get through that performance. The thought of performing for 200 NHS workers after everything that they've been through and we've all been through will be very, very emotional, on top of the emotions that you get anyway doing a show like that.
So how have the past 14 weeks been for you, apart from obviously the Sleepless in Seattle stuff, but how's it been for you and as a family and at home?
So once I kind of got my head around the show and it's like, okay, this is lockdown, I think I just got into a bit of a flow for a while. I mean, the weather's helped everyone, I think. So it's been glorious. Obviously, it's been tough trying to homeschool Bobby. He's 5, so he's in reception. And at first, it was all a bit of a novelty, and it was great, like having his teacher, you know, as his mum. And then as it goes along, they're a bit more resistant. Like now, it's like a real struggle to get him to engage with any of that. But they've had the best time, like the two of them together, Bobby and Cole, just building dens, doing stuff that kids do, having both of us around every day. They've just loved it. And I have like had a really lovely time. The majority of it has been actually really lovely. Of course, you miss family and friends, but you get in a zone, don't you?
Well, you went out. We saw you together.
I know.
You and Nicole. That must have been. It's that weird thing when you see a friend, and then but you can't actually hug each other.
I know you go, but I'm actually getting used to that and not even doing it anymore, which is so unlike me. I'm the most huggy person ever. Like I'm so overly friendly and tactile with people that I'm really having to like be like, no. But just I mean, she was isolating on her own for weeks.
That's tough.
She's been incredible. She's literally my hero. So to actually see her in the flesh and have ice cream in the sun, albeit socially distanced, was very lovely.
Isn't she? But she's going to the West End as well.
Well, she had just opened in City of Angels, so she's one of the shows that are still working through it, I guess. And I didn't get to see her, which I'm gutted about because I heard that she was incredible and the show was brilliant. And I'm just praying that maybe our shows don't clash this time because they were actually clashing before. And then I can go and see her as much as I want when it does finally open.
Well, she surprised. I think obviously not. She didn't surprise you. Did you know she was behind the mask?
Yes, literally. I heard one line and I was like, what's Nicola doing on the mask? But I know her voice almost as well as my own, to be honest, because when you're in a recording studio for like 15 years or whatever it is, you know every single inflection. But I was so proud of her and she couldn't tell us. And I didn't want to put her in that position. So it was just a really like elephant in the room every time I saw her because it was quite obviously her.
What a voice.
She had under strict contract, obviously, not to tell us. But yeah, I was like, should we get together and like have dinner on this particular night? And I knew it was the final. And so we actually were together with a load of friends to celebrate. And I was crying my eyes out. It was very emotional actually because all she loves to do is sing, really. That's all she wants to do and she's blooming good at it.
She really is. Well, you all are actually, lots of people on here, your super fans, all want to know if there's going to be a 20-year reunion because that's coming up very soon.
20, yeah, gosh.
Is that going to happen?
I don't know. We don't have plans in place now, but it's still a couple of years away. I mean, so many people are asking me at the moment that it almost makes you think, oh, would that be a really nice thing to do? Like, I just think no one really cares about Girls Aloud anymore.
Oh, no, they do. They really, you should see this. They really do.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love the group and the girls and everything that we stood for. And I'd love for my boys to see what I actually did. So who knows?
Do it.
Maybe if everything aligns right, then it'll happen.
I told you one of your songs. When I work out, I listen to Girls Aloud. Yeah, I love it.
Biology. Good workout songs.
It's fantastic. I love it. I listen. Do the reunion. We'll all be there cheering you on. And there's Rosie Nixon, editor, saying we do care. Yes,
Rosie will be there. I know she will.
I'll be sitting next to her, singing along to every song, annoying everybody. Also the kids stuff. You're still doing all of that as well.
Yeah, I've still got my kids wear brand that I'm trying to build, but I'm not going to lie, the virus has made that tricky. So we're kind of missing a season, and we're going to come back strong. I'm still learning about it all, but it obviously did affect our factories and stuff. So we're just going to move forward with the next season. But that's a real passion project because when you've got kids, that's such a massive part of your life. That I love it, and I do it with my brother because that's what he does. So it's our little family business. So we do, we love it, and we are gonna, keep moving forward with that.
Good. Talking of the family business, though, you and your sisters, everywhere. One of you is in a show at some time. Yeah. Would you ever go and do a soap?
Do you know what? I feel like because my older sister, obviously, she did a soap years ago, and Amy's in Emmerdale now. do you know what I really want to do? I want the three of us to do something together. Like, can somebody please just write something brilliant, like an amazing play for three sisters, or
You
they
do
don't
it.
have to be sisters.
You
We'd all
write
do it. We'd love to do it. Yeah.
No, but you should
Yeah, I
write
should
it.
just
So
find a
I
writer.
remember,
Yeah.
I remember you and I meeting up when you were first in Girls Aloud, and we sat there, and I
That
kept
was
saying
so
to you,
lovely of you.
you've got to be a presenter.
Let me explain, because this was such a lovely thing that you did. So Gaby got my details, called me up and said, you know what, I'd love to meet you and just give you some advice. I think you're a great presenter, things that you could do moving forward after Girls Aloud, which is just the most lovely thing for a human being to do ever. And we did. We met and chatted, and you gave me advice, and I'll never forget that. It's such a lovely thing to do, to actually reach out to someone who clearly is going into a whole new world at that point in their career.
Because I just think you are. Jason Manford last week, I was saying to him, do you mind that people call you an entertainer? He said, no, because that's what I am. And I hope you accept it that you're an entertainer, because you can sing, you can dance. Wow, can you dance? We all saw you on Strictly. You can act. You've got a business with your brother. You're an entertainer, and actually being able to entertain people is such a privilege, and you're fantastic at it.
I agree, and there's so many of us out there like that love variety and just want to keep working. As you said, keep entertaining people. It does bring happiness. It doesn't save the world, but it definitely brings happiness. And I feel like right now, and with, as we're chatting obviously with Tamzin about the situation with theatre and this industry, it's so important now that we all help each other and try and get it back, because gosh, it would be a really sad world without it, wouldn't it?
It really would. And without you, I'm so pleased that you're back on stage. I will be there with Rosie in the front row. Thank you for speaking to us. It's always
a
joy.
Me.
And
always
you have the best
a pleasure.
One.
Always.
Mwah. Bye-bye, my gorgeous. Bye.
Bye.
Lovely, lovely Kimberley. Just lovely, lovely girl. So now, I have to just say, I'm very, very hot. So apologies if you see me sweating. I think I am. Lovely, lovely Melissa Hemsley. Last week, she told us how to spank our pomegranates. I did it. I was spanking my pomegranates. I did get some strange looks from my family when I was doing it. Hello, I'm hot. Are you hot?
I'm always hot, Gaby. Even in the winter, I'm sweating. So this is just a disaster for me.
Lovely girl. How are you? How's your week been?
It's been good, thanks, Gaby. And you?
Yeah,
You're
very
right?
good, thank you. Very, very well. I'm one of those people that loves the sunshine, so I'm a bit of a pain. If anyone says they're too hot, I get upset.
Oh, sorry, Gaby. Okay, I'm not too hot. My armpits are too hot. How about that?
Only you. Okay, so you've got something to cool us all down this week.
Yes. Selfishly, I'm making our snack attacks work for me, exactly what I want and what I thought you all want. So basically, whether it be a mocktail, a cocktail, an iced tea, or a herbal infusion, whatever you want to call it, whatever you like to drink, I've got some ideas. And last week we had I had a Wi-Fi disaster. This week, I sort of forgot to put something in the freezer that's quite essential, but I can wing it, Gaby. So, I'll just post a picture later. So basically, I just got my weekly veg box. Henry, if you can just angle down here, I've got my snazzy stainless steel ice cube tray. Can you go a bit more for me, Henry? Just turn it down. Can you see what's in there? I've got raspberries, I've got orange, I'm adding a little bit of, Gaby, have you got any lavender at home? If anyone's got a little lavender bush, quite nice. So just put a little bit of lavender in.
I've never thought of that.
Oh gosh, yeah, lavender in a drink. Lavender, lime and blueberry is one of my favourites. So I'll just put a bit of lavender in. You could
lavender,
put oregano.
Lime and blueberry. Okay, I'll try that tonight. Okay.
Lavender, lime, blueberry. So this one was going to be ice cube trays with raspberry and orange in. Obviously forgot, but that's fine, because some of you might want to make this now, and also like me haven't factored in the ice. Do you know what, Gaby? I did some yoga earlier to clear my brain, and it definitely stopped me from thinking.
But can I just ask you about your ice tray?
Yes,
I love your ice tray.
It's so great, and it's just, if you've got an ice cube tray at home, like, it's important just to use up what you've got. But if you're in the model for a new ice cube tray and you want to avoid plastic, get yourself a nice stainless steel one. They're about double the price, but it feels nicer. We know it's going to last forever. So yeah, that's it. I'll take a picture when it's frozen later if I remember.
Okay. Now, what do you do with that? Do you put that into a drink?
Yes. So pretend that's my snazzy cubes with the raspberry, the orange. How beautiful will it look for one? Pomegranate seeds. You've been spanking a pomegranate.
I've been spanking.
And what's so good, Gabby, is if you had enough pomegranate or too much pomegranate, you could have put your pomegranate seeds in here, which would have been fantastic. And out they would have plopped.
Can I just ask you then, this is a really stupid question, but if you're going to do that, do you need water as well, or can you just freeze the fruit without water?
Exactly, pop the water in. So you can either put the fruit in, then fill it up. That's probably the best way to do it, to avoid oversplash. And also what I like about this is, for any of our friends that drink wine, if you ever have any wine left over, ice cube trays are great for maybe putting a little bit of like a rosé ice cube or a red wine ice cube if you want to make a gravy or add it to a bolognese. I just love my ice cube tray, basically.
What a brilliant idea. It's all about not wasting anything with you.
We are all about that, Gabby. So pretend that's got the beautiful rosemary and the orange in. I've simply got my two massive glasses. Sorry, one of them's got more than the other. No one's drunk anything yet, but I just can't obviously measure. And what you would do then, I'm just going to use my unfrozen raspberries just to show you. You can do that too. Just plop them in. How many raspberries do you want, Henry?
4.
4. And then just top it up with your eyes. Pretend these are the pretty ones. But the really beautiful thing that you're just like, why am I watching you just put ice cubes in a thing? What I really want to get excited about is over here. Henry, are you able to pan down? Over here. Come over here, come closer. It's all about the garnishes, because especially if you're not drinking or would like to drink less, it's all about making these delicious. So here's my lavender. That's going into that one. I'm also going to put some rosemary in. I think we've talked before, haven't we, about windowsill herbs. I just think they're the best thing.
I've
so
got
many
them
herbs.
now. I did it at last. I've actually got my windowsill herbs, so I'm very excited about them.
Because herbs are one of those things that are always wrapped in plastic. I've got my sparkling water over here. I'm going to top it up. Have you got me, Henry? There's one. So that is raspberry lavender, sparkling water, and I'm going to put some orange, and I'll probably garnish it with a bit of orange too, and that is super refreshing. This
wonderful.
This one I'm very excited about because, you know, remember we made ginger tea last week? Actually, I think you in the end didn't see it. The ginger tea I've been drinking this week, adding it to glasses like this, the leftover ginger tea. This here looks like basil, right?
Yeah. But
it's Thai basil.
Oh, I love it.
So beautiful. So we bought it to make it. We're going to make a lovely salad this weekend. I'll give you the recipe for that. But Thai basil in a cocktail, bit of ginger, bit of raspberry, top it up with sparkling water. And as I said, our friends that do like a little drink of something special, you can then add a little bit of gin or vodka or Prosecco. But those of us that don't, you can flex it up with sparkling water.
I love that. Also, it looks like you've also got a squirty water. What's it called? You know, I've got one of those, so there's no plastic. Yes.
Can you just show over the top for me? I just want you to see how pretty the herbs make things, you know?
Wonderful.
So lovely.
Right, okay. So we need Henry to taste it.
Right, Henry, do you want Thai basil?
Thai basil, please.
He loves the Thai basil.
Okay, Henry, let's see.
Oh, lovely.
Cheers. Cheers, Gabby. Cheers, Rosie.
Cheers,
hello, everyone.
darling.
Hello. Right.
I'll be out in the garden if you need me.
Next one.
Okay.
So we talked about adding ginger in there. We could have added turmeric and cloves and all sorts of lovely things. My next one, ready to go, is this. Henry, can I have a little angle? I'm scared to drop it. These are roasted sticky nuts, nuts and spices with a good amount of like very nice sea salt and seeds on top and rosemary from the garden. So I used any old nuts and seeds. Amazing if you want to go through your cupboards and you've got a couple of cashews, some random stale pumpkin seeds. You toast them in the oven, either with a bit of butter or coconut oil or a bit of oil. If you can't bear the idea of putting the oven on, you could do it in a frying pan, still hot, but over faster. And add some spices. So Gabby, you and I were just talking about spices and how some spices can be cooling. Cloves, fennel, turmeric, chili. I added them all in, and then I put a tiny bit of maple syrup towards the end, just a tiny bit, and the sweet and saltiness.
I'm going to have to stop you. I'm going to need to stop you to go back, because I've never actually done this, and I've always, I love eating them, but I've never done this. So you just get the nuts and the seeds, and you put them in coconut oil in the oven with all of those spices at the beginning or afterwards?
Because I can't be bothered with messing around, I do them at the beginning, and I make sure the oven's not too hot, so at about 180. If you start going towards 200, you might be in danger of burning, so I keep it 180. And what you can do is, again, if you're worried about burning, bigger nuts, you can roughly chop them first, so that everything's sort of the same size. And then you can add your rosemary sprigs in then, or add some later, and then a little bit of maple syrup. Also, what's nice, nuts are expensive, aren't they? You can also toss in a tin of dried chickpeas, so cooked but then dried. So empty a tin of chickpeas, pat it dry with a dish towel, because if it's wet, it's just going to steam in the oven. Yeah. And then add it in, and then you get like a bite of chickpea, a bite of cashew nut, a bite of pecan, and you can add your za'atar as well, Gabby, if you've got any left.
Yes! You know what? This whole thing, though, is perfect for, and I know it's not hot everywhere throughout the UK and around the world. I love that. She's throwing it down. And New York, they're watching from New York. But wherever you are, it's still the drink and those nuts together, perfect for your Friday evening.
And you've got your herbs in, you've got your spices, you've got a bit of fruit in there, and it was really nice and easy and fun to do, I'd say. You know, you want fun things in the heat.
Oh, perfect. You are wonderful. You know I love you. I absolutely love you to pieces. Lots of people want to know where the ice tray's from, so could you put that on your post where you got the ice tray?
I will do. It's called Ecozoid, but I'll find some links for it as well.
Bless you. Thank you, as always. Where's Henry? We need to say goodbye to Henry as well.
Henry,
we did
try the nuts.
Yeah, try the nuts.
Do you know what? Sometimes we put them on salads as well. How's that? Is that good enough?
Yeah, really nice.
He's not going to stop now. He's not going to stop.
And also, Gabby, lovely warm, lovely cold, because then they crisp up. So any temperature is good.
Perfect. I will see you next Friday. My beautiful Melissa, I love you to pieces.
Thank you, Gabby. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Oh, goodness me. I have to say, it really is very warm here in London, in my bedroom. Thank you very much for watching. And if you want to find out all her recipes, I think I'm melting. If you want to find out her recipes, you go to @Melissa Hemsley, but she'll also post them. I will post them at Gaby Roslin. That's me. And I'll see you next week at 6 o'clock. Have a lovely evening, whatever you're doing. And thank you, Hello Magazine. Don't forget, hello to kindness, always. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.